Iron in the Soul.
What's up, YouTube? This is Iron in the Soul. Back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at TheKingJabez. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, man, let's do some work. Let's talk about today the significance of 40 days of seed retention and why this is an important discipline for you to go forward with as a man, and why this can be just revolutionary in terms of your transformation, your progress, and purpose as a man. The first question you might have is, why number 40? 40 is a significant number, especially to the ancient Hebrews. 40 is a number of testing. It is a period of proving yourself. This is why the Hebrews were in the wilderness for 40 years post leaving Egypt. The purpose of that was to reprove, to remove weakness from them, to see what was in them. And I think this journey for you, when you're on retention for 40 days, is proving to you what's in you. I mean, this is one of the benefits of retention. There's so many benefits. Okay, many I've covered over the last 3 years. Mental clarity, removing brain fog, having strength, testosterone levels being regulated, a number of other benefits that we've discussed in detail. But another benefit that I think sometimes is underrated is that retention, when you hold on to your seed for this amount of time, it forces you to deal with your life for what it is. You don't have that, fake sense of accomplishment, right? You don't have that relief. That's why it's called tension. It's forcing you to deal with yourself. What's going on with you? Your will, your emotions, your mind, your spirit, soul, and body. It's forcing you to see where you are at as a man and to look at your life and to make the necessary adjustments to go forward into progress. And so it literally will pull you toward your goals, and it will challenge you to make progress and to continue to go forward as opposed to go backwards. That's what the word prosper means. Prosper means to advance and to move forward. Often when the Most High God wanted to use a person or a nation to transform them, he used the number 40, whether it was 40 days or 40 years. For example, Noah's life was transformed by 40 days of rain. The prophet Moses was transformed by 40 days of fasting and prayer on Mount Sinai. The spies were transformed by 40 days when they were in the Promised Land. David and the nation of Israel were challenged by 40 days from Goliath. Goliath was a giant who challenged King Saul and the nation of Israel for a 40-day period of time. The prophet Elijah had 40 days of strength from one single meal, and he went on a 40-day fast where he received supernatural strength. The entire city of Nineveh was transformed when God gave the people 40 days to change. Jesus himself, the Messiah, Yeshua, fasted and prayed for 40 days. And the disciples were changed by 40 days with Jesus after his resurrection. So 40 has always been a significant number in God's economy. In fact, for men in particular, I listened to a talk, DJ Vlad. Of course, I've listened to a lot of those podcasts. And on this particular one, he had Nuri Muhammad. Nuri Muhammad is a high-ranking member of the Nation of Islam. And he talked about Malcolm X and Dr. King. I thought this was very powerful. How both of them were assassinated at the age of 39. And he gave, I think, was profound revelation as to why that happened. He says at the age of 40, a man's mind or brain reaches a new level of maturity, of full maturity. There's a transformation there. And this is why I believe even also in the book Think and Grow Rich, I'll talk about that in a second, talks about the 40s being the most significant part of a man's life, how he can be more successful. And so both Malcolm X and Dr. King were killed at 39 years of age because there were people who were afraid of the true power potential they would have reached in their 40s. In other words, if they're giving people that much hell and trouble in their 20s and 30s, you can imagine what Dr. King and Malcolm X would accomplish as men in their 40s and 50s. Just imagine that. And so 40 is a significant number for everyone, but in particular for men. In terms of our maturity, this is an age we should begin to accumulate wealth and resources and status and be seen as a respected member of society. And so I think that's also a very powerful revelation as to the importance of the number 40. In terms of hours, this is significant. This is close to 1,000 hours. 1,000 hours is something that I believe is a little over 40 days. I think about 41, 42 days. And The reason this is important to me, I read an article maybe 5 years ago where I was challenged to pray for 1,000 hours, to log 1,000 hours. Of course, not in one day. That's obvious common sense. And that over the course of that time, after logging 1,000 hours, I would begin to see different gifts in my life unlock, revelation, resources, wealth, spiritual power. And I did that. In fact, I'm doing this again now for the second time. I'm about 360 hours in now on logging my second 1,000 hours of prayer. And I've seen so many miracles from that, benefits, growth from my channel. And so when we come to this talk about retention, 1,000 hours is about 42 days. And so just think about how much of a transformation you will have as a man with that amount of time dedicated to working on yourself. You know, every 2 weeks, or about 15 days, your seed is reabsorbed into the body. And it begins to really nourish your brain and your nervous system. I would say what you can expect during 40 days of retention. You can expect, of course, more energy, which consequently will mean you will need less sleep. And this should lead to, of course, with your decision-making, productivity. Now, it's not a magic potion that doesn't work that way. You have to make a decision to be productive. But the truth of the matter is, if you hold on to your life essence for 40 days, the will and the energy and the strength necessary to do things will be there. So it'd be up to you to do something with that and to push yourself. And so it'd be important that you add disciplines to this in this part of your life, to your life. In other words, if you're holding on to your life essence for this amount of time, it's going to be important for you to do things like get up early, to go to the gym, to read, possibly consider taking cold showers, spend time in reflection and meditation. In other words, it's going to be up to you to go to the next level physically, spiritually, and mentally. Just practicing retention by itself isn't going to work. And if you're not transmuting the energy, it's only a matter of time before you relapse, especially at 40 days in. You know, you get to a point where we're talking 2 to 6 weeks, or 3 to 6 weeks rather, excuse me, you're going to have a lot of energy. And so it'll be up to you. Even as I talk to you guys right now, I got books everywhere. I got this plan I'm reading through right now. I'm finishing up with Think and Grow Rich. I'm in the last chapter. You know, constantly pushing myself on my fitness goals. Finally got myself down to 10% body fat. So the purpose of this is to push you to excellence, not just to do something just to be doing it. And this is why, you know, most guys can't do it. It's that simple. Most men just refuse to do this. They don't have the discipline. They don't have the focus. And so we could talk about it. And some guys, I notice, you know, and this has been my problem with this whole conversation, they will watch 100 videos, you understand me, and still not get it, right? And it's just like the ancient scripture says, ever learning, but never coming to knowledge of the truth. There are guys that watch these videos who fall into the category, and they become a weight to the movement because it's like nothing we can do to help you. You hear all the information. I know you're not listening to me. You listen to my content. You watch it in 4 or 5 other YouTubers, and you just can't get yourself together. So that's something that you have to figure out as a man. Why? Why is it that you cannot gain control of your sexual urges? That's a valid question. Why is that more important? These questions you got to ask yourself, by the way. Why is this more important to you than your goals? Why is this more important to you than you looking your best physically? Why is this more important to you than sharpening your mind as a man so that you can learn, retain information, develop skills, develop your mind, your body, your soul, get closer to God? Why would you sacrifice all of that for a moment of pleasure? And you know, furthermore, why do some of you worship women? To be honest, some of you guys worship women. I'm just going to tell you flat out. You know, you have placed them to a level of idolatry in your heart. And this is why I talked about those spirits. You know, you start opening yourself up to that lust spirit. And that brings in that destruction. The lust and destruction, they go hand in hand. And that's now affecting your pocketbook, your money, your personal life, mess around, break your family up. There's a lot of fire there. And as an old saying, you know, when you play with fire, you get burnt. You know, you're scrolling those sites, you're looking at stuff you shouldn't be looking at. It's only a matter of time, man, before you're back to day one, to day zero. You know, and that guilt comes in. By the way, let me put this out here too as I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking right now. You know, if you're looking at stuff you shouldn't be looking at, and you relapse, and you have this guilt, Some guys, if you've messaged me, they even have nightmares after doing something like this. That's a good sign. That means that your mind is being renewed. And what's happened to you, if you're having nightmares after doing something like that, and you're feeling guilty and shame and depressed the next day, feeling lousy, that's actually a good thing. That means that you have made a decision that this type of behavior is no longer acceptable to you. If that's you, I'm clapping for you. You reached a new level of growth. Because listen to me. This is what I know from doing these talks. There are millions of men who are not there. They don't feel any guilt. They don't feel any shame. They can do it every day and be fine with themselves. So if you're experiencing guilt and shame, that means that you have determined within yourself, within your own conscious, within your own mind, that this is no longer the man I am. This is no longer the way I want to spend my time, to live my life, and to spend my energy. I'm going to put this out there as well. If you have a goal of retaining for 40 days, which is a significant number, you're going to have to be careful with social media. I can't tell you to leave it all together all alone, but be careful. A lot of women over there loosely dressed, a lot of cruelty, violence, public shame, wealth building tips, which can be helpful, but sometimes it can lead to covetousness and jealousy from others, comparing life to other people. This can be a distraction on your journey if you're not careful. So this means you're going to have to be careful with your eye gates. The ancient man of God, Job, said, I have made a covenant with my eyes. So you're going to have to make a covenant or an agreement with your eyes. This is the key to the battle. You have to be conscious of what you view, what you listen to, who you're talking to. All of this is going to eventually have an impact on how you carry yourself, and especially in the area of your personal life and making a decision to hold on to your life essence for 40 days. Bottom line, what can you expect on 40 days of retention? You can expect to have more energy. You can expect for your creativity to increase. So if you are someone who is, trying to develop a business idea, or you do music, or you're trying to create your own website, whatever it may be, this will give you more creativity. You will have a strong masculine foundation. You will be more grounded in your masculinity. You can expect to have this new level of spiritual power. Your prayers will be more important. Your reading of scriptures will be more insightful for you. Your connections with other men will increase. You will become a natural leader amongst men. This is what I've seen firsthand in my life. When you have this type of energy, people will gravitate towards you. I see it all the time. People come talk to me in public. I run to folks, they'll come ask me questions at the gym. Why is that? Because your aura and your vibe is detected by other people, especially other men, and they'll see that there's something different about you that they can respect. And this gives you a position to teach them something, to put them on game. So, this places you in an elite category where you can really be influential and be used by the Most High God. The dark side of this is that, of course, during this time of retention, when you're close to 6 weeks, the dark side of this is that suppressed anger and rage and pain will come out. And that's a good thing. You're now forced to deal with whatever you have been suppressing. As men, we are masters at suppressing how we really feel. We consistently hide our emotions, which is smart to a degree. We try to let people think that we're fine even when we're not fine. Because truth be told, no one really cares. That's just the world we live in. People have very little sympathy, if any, for men. And so we're consistently masking how we feel about everything. There's something about this retention that kind of pushes that out. And it forces you to deal with that. And once you're able to deal with that in a healthy way and process that, then you can really go forward with better clarity in your mind and thinking, and really just have this power with people. It'll help you to be calm, right? When you are calm in the midst of war and chaos, this gives you a power amongst people because they see that you're taking those blows, you're experiencing the battles, you're experiencing the struggles that they all have, and they know that. When they see you going through what they're going through differently, then that would automatically give them more respect for you. When they see you enduring pain, facing your challenges, handling your business like a man, that will give them a respect for you, and they'll come ask you questions. And now, once again, you are positioning yourself to be a leader amongst men. You don't have to say I'm a leader. Your vibe will say I'm a leader. The way you carry yourself, your voice tone, your energy, your body language will say, I am someone you can follow. No cap. That has been my experience. I can go to a room, I ain't got to ask somebody to say nothing to me. People gravitate to me. They ask questions. Why? Your whole disposition says, I'm a person that can help you. And that's the type of man you want to be. You don't want to be the man that people look at with disrespect, or they don't want to follow, they don't want to ask any questions to, that's not a good thing. And so 40 days of retention will definitely have you, this is what I know for a fact, you will be positioned and you will be seen as a respectable man. Mark my word. Well, guys, it's just some food for thought on this Friday evening. As I continue this 30-day series, I think today we're on day 22. So I'm going to give you a solid word of wisdom on this Friday night. I trust this will be of value to those who hear this. Any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section. If you want to connect with me further, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at Doug King Jabez. Also, go to my website, theironandsoul.com, where you can book a consultation or get my book, Becoming Strong as Iron. Guys, thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.